even if he doesn't win the championship this weekend,
Yeah.
the comeback that he has managed to pull off is just unheard of. We've never seen anything like it in the sport. It's just nuts.
Yeah. And I think along with that, you'll look back at the season, you'll see Max's comeback with just like one of the greatest in history. But you're also going to look at the McLaren collapse.
Yeah. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Around the Circuit, Apollo Media's Formula One podcast. As always, I'm your boy Junior, joined by Mark and Ivan. We had the penultimate round of the F1 2025 season.
Yes, we
happened in Qatar. It started with a sprint. It was a sprint weekend, uneventful. Oscar won, closed up some points. Max did damage limitation, only lost 1 point to Lando on that race.
What, Yuki qualified like the highest he's qualified?
Yeah, Yuki qualified above Max. He finally out-qualified Max for the sprint. So shout out Yuki.
Yeah.
For this weekend. Sprint was boring for the most part. It happened. There were some points given away. Tightened up the championship a little bit going into the race.
Yeah.
And then the race happened.
The race happened.
So we go into Qatar. We know the track is terrible on F1 cars. We know it's terrible on the tires. Pirelli has a 25-lap rule on these tires.
Yep.
So we know everybody is doing at least 2 stops in this 57-lap race.
Yeah.
And then Hülkenberg and Gasly decide they want to get physical. Safety car comes out on lap 7. The math is simple.
Come on.
You pit.
I can do the math.
You pit on lap 7. You only have to pit one more time.
Yep.
You lose as little time as possible.
Yep.
Everybody on the grid seemed to agree except for one team.
Except for one
team. McLaren fumbled this race. It should have been Oscar's to win. Lando could have easily fought for a podium, if not even P2. They could have taken Max completely out of the equation this weekend.
Yeah.
And they fumbled the bag. There's no other way to put it. They fumbled it. They completely fumbled this weekend.
Yep.
And ruined this, what could have been a teammate.
From a season where Max should have been out of the championship a while ago, this was the race to be like, okay,
let's get him out.
Let's
get him out of here.
Get him out of here. And they completely fumbled the bag.
They couldn't do it. They
just
choked.
The fact that you didn't even do one driver to go into the pits.
I think the problem is they're so scared to favor a driver.
Yeah.
They don't want to pick Oscar. They don't want to pick Lando. They're going to let them fight to the end.
In their highest, it is a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, in the process of letting them two fight, they said, okay, well, we're just not going to pick either one of them. We're running them on the same strategy. And they were both on the wrong strategy.
Yeah.
Because you lose 26 seconds on the next pit stop.
Yeah.
To whoever. And I'm no professional. I'm no engineer.
Yeah.
But from the naked eye, me watching on my TV, it was obvious Max had pace on them.
Yeah.
Why not pit and try to eliminate that? He had the jump on Lando from the start. He was already up to P2. So you're already screwed. Yes, I know you don't want to favor, but Lando already bottled his start and lost his position. You give it to Oscar and you say, screw it. We'll go into the last race. Yeah. Max is eliminated.
Yeah.
And we take it from there. They couldn't do it.
No.
For me, I think Crofty and the F1 TV broadcast both said the same thing pre-race and when it happened. The key laps that everybody kept saying was lap 7, lap 32.
Yep.
Those were the 2 laps. And when did the accident occur? Lap 7. So it doesn't make any sense to me when you have a perfect timing. All right, this is the time when everybody is going to start making their first stops. We get a free stop. Why not? You have to take 2 stops. Why not just take one of your first 2 stops? Worst case scenario, you saw it after they didn't choose to pit, ironically. They turned up the wick and still found a way on 7-lap older tires to get away. You had the pace in hand.
Yeah.
You just got to make the call to do that.
And their pit stops were fast. Like, what was it? Oscar's that was 1.8?
Yeah, Oscar's
was 2.2.
No, that was Lando's. Lando's had a
Lando's
2.2. Oscar had a 1.8 stop. So it was, I mean, they showed that they
on
had
the first stop.
Yeah, on the first. Yeah. So they had it in their hands. And to me, like you said, Junior, They were so focused on, oh, if we pit Lando right now, we are screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Webber was probably staring Zach Brown from behind at the McLaren booth right there saying, you sure you want to pit Lando?
Yeah.
Try to pit Lando. I dare you.
And the thing is, when they finally pit Lando for the second time, they were slow. They were too slow. He came out behind Antonelli, behind Carlos.
Yep.
He has to get, I think he had like 10 laps or so, maybe a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there to get past both of them to get on the podium. It's not. The dirty air in Qatar was terrible from everything I heard from some of the drivers in the post race.
Did you see qualifying?
Yeah. It was obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, this track is not forgiving to F1 cars in any shape or form. The tires, the dirty air, everything. Don't know why it's still on the calendar, but that's an argument for another day.
Has the 6th longest contract, just to let you know. I had to look that up pre-read.
Yeah, well, it obviously ain't going anywhere anytime soon, but
The longest belongs to Miami.
it's here. Nevertheless, we had the pit rules. Hannah Schmitz at Red Bull is a goddess. Queen Hannah said, no, we're doing this. At her interviews afterwards, we got to see her on the podium because this race was won by her brain. Like, yes, Max drove his ass off, so obviously it's her and Max. But she said in her post-race interview that when they asked her, they said, was this always something she said, we made the decision before the race. If there was a safety car on that lap, we were pitting no matter what.
Yeah.
We stuck to our guns, whether it was right or wrong, and we did it, and it worked out. I think the scariest part where everybody held their breath on the Red Bull pit wall was when Max pit right away after the safety car. You just held your breath and waited to see what else everybody else was going to do.
Yeah.
And then everybody filed in right behind them. I mean, Mercedes even double stacked, and George almost took out, was it Isaac?
Isaac, yeah.
Coming out of,
Nearly took out Aston Martin.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I had flashbacks to the Lance Stroll and Monaco incident whenever that pit exit occurred, because Crofty's just saying, oh, what's happening? We want to see it. What's going on?
Yeah.
It was.
Dude,
it
from
was,
that angle, you just see George going right into Isaac, and then they're like,
Yep.
complete
And
other
then they
way.
cut back to Max in the pit, and it's like, no, go back to that.
Go back. Yeah, it was just nuts. It was nuts. I mean, she made the call. Like I said, I've talked about Hannah Schmitz on quite a few episodes already. Yeah. I think she's probably the smartest person on the grid.
Yeah.
She deals with, I mean, her and her team just, you can't praise them enough for making the right decision because they gave Max the win. Yeah. As soon as he pit and he came out, I think I texted y'all. I said, McLaren not pitting sounds like a bad idea. And then sure enough, everybody, there it went. It just fell into place after that. And Max took off. He did what he had to do. He got the win. He's now only 12 points behind Lando.
It's crazy.
He now takes second place in the standings, ahead of Oscar, 4 points ahead of Oscar, which is nuts because, and I've said it before, Oscar wins Zandvoort and is 104 points above Max. Max is still in P3 at that time. Yeah. He's 104 points ahead of Max. Max has gained 108 points. 109 points.
He had a 104-point gap, I think was the
it was a
largest
104-point gap. Now he's 4 points ahead. It's nuts.
Dude, absolutely nuts.
Max has outscored the entire grid since that race. Yeah. I don't know if it was something about Zandvoort awoke him in that car. And I think there was in one of the practice sessions there, he ran off into the gravel and he dug the car out. And the car was like, thank you. I got you for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
It was just, like that. My favorite movie, one of my favorite movies is Transformers. And the scene where he goes, there's a mythical bond between man and machine. That's Max in his cars, bro. I mean, you hear the way he talks about the 2023 car. Yeah. He has a name for it and everything. It's just nuts. I mean, to see the comeback, even if he doesn't win the championship this weekend, the comeback that he has managed to pull off is just unheard of. We've never seen anything like it in the sport. It's just nuts.
Yeah. And I think along with that, you'll look back at the season, you'll see Max's comeback with just like one of the greatest in history. But you're also going to look at the McLaren collapse.
Yeah, the just complete, we could probably make a compilation of different papaya rules and the swaps and the crash outs and the engine failures, and then this race, where they're like, no, we're staying out. It's just, you could make a compilation and just be like, okay, if they lose this championship, this is where they lost it.
It's just insane because, at one point in the season, we were all like, oh, yeah, Oscar's winning.
Yeah, this was Oscar's to lose. And now it's...
We don't know.
Yeah, technically, it's still Lando's to win.
It's still
Lando's to lose.
Yeah.
But we've seen bigger point swings in a single race.
Before we started, 2010, Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah.
I forget how many points he was down,
15.
but he was in third place.
It was 15.
And Fernando Alonso was stuck in fourth. Was it fourth, I think?
He had to get to fourth, and he was stuck in fifth for a majority of the race because
and he couldn't get by.
Ironically, that was because of dirty air too.
Yeah.
He could not get past.
So it's happened before. Hopefully, it can happen again.
I mean, even the fact that even if you go on count back right now, say it finished in some scenario where it's a tie, like it's a 3-way tie wins, they would have to go to second place finishes, which Lando has the edge right now still. But I mean, all it takes is one race, and you have to go to another tiebreaker then.
I think the count back, now that Max is even with them, I think the count back it goes towards Max's favor.
Right? From what I heard, it was second places right now. It would go from first to second place since they're all tied right now. But obviously, if Max wins, then I think it may go into his favor at that point. But still, like y'all said, the comeback has been something. You mean, drivers always say, we'll keep trying, we'll keep fighting, we'll live for the next race. They've literally been doing that. Now, I mean, I'm not going to talk about next season because they may pay for it then, but this is why you go all in on a year when you think you have a chance.
I mean, there was we even said it. There were like, is it really worth sacrificing the 2026 car to keep giving Max and Yuki upgrades, to keep giving that Red Bull?
We talked about it. Is it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Slight chance that he could come, and it
was
worth it.
It's obviously it's paid off because we go into the last fight, to the last race, and you said it last week. You look at races where. We look at we're at that point where we look at past races. Yeah. You take away the races that it was other people's fault. So you got Canada for Lando, where he crashed into the back of Oscar and DNF'd. He could have had the championship won already if he finishes that race. You have Baku for Oscar.
Yep.
And Australia.
He would probably be first. Australia, yes, but I won't hold that too much against him because it's the first race of the season and the rain was terrible.
Yeah.
Ironically, if Lando doesn't go off, he probably doesn't go off either. Too.
Yeah, I mean, Lando went off too, and he just managed to keep it.
Yeah.
I think I point more towards Baku.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the bigger.
And then for Max, obviously it's Barcelona.
Yeah.
Max would only I saw a video and it said if Max would have just swallowed his pride and finished the race where he was, he would only be 3 points off from the championship right now, which makes this race even crazier going into this weekend. But it is what it is. They've all lost points. They've all made mistakes this season and cost themselves possibly winning the championship.
Yeah.
So now we go into this race. You got Lando in first, 12 points ahead of Max. And you got Oscar in third, 16 points behind Lando. It's all up for grabs, essentially, at this point. You have to... If I'm Lando, I want pole and yes, I want to win. But my mind is podium, podium, podium. I just need a podium to win this championship. If I'm Max, it's win the race.
Yeah.
Take pole, you win the race. Abu Dhabi has been great to Max. He knows he can do it. We know he can do it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Call Mikey on the phone right now. Get him on the phone. Get him to Abu Dhabi. But
before we moved on to, I wanted to, like you were talking about Hannah. Shout out to Hannah because, I mean, especially when the gap was near 104, like not just Hannah, but all the entire Red Bull team was taking a beating
not
online.
You, Marco.
But I mean, think about this. Like we go, I think it was last year still, but nonetheless, like Max is going like a year ago at Hungary. You gave me the shit strategy. What are we doing? The team is starting to have its little flare-ups where things are starting to go downhill, and now you come a year later full circle, and now Hannah's on the podium celebrating one of the best comebacks in F1 history. Like
this is true.
That is something I'll give Red Bull credit for is that they don't stop.
Yes, but here's the point that I will say. there's one key factor, there's one key change that happened to that team before everything switched. Max stopped looking at other teams. He shut the rumors down. Everything just kind of, and we all know what it is. The chupacabra.
Yep.
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named is out. He keeps trying to get his way back into the sport. Everybody keeps saying no. He's gone. Shout out to Mekis for taking this team who was in just like a bad spot and turning it around, because there's probably not very many people that can come into a team and lead a team that's led by a driver like Max Verstappen that was formerly ran by Christian Horner and turn it around the way they have this season. So from top to bottom, like you said, the entire Red Bull team, you start with Mekis, you go to Hannah, you look at GP, Max, Yuki's even like had some, good races here and there, some good finishes. He struggled, yes, but I mean, even Mekis started, hey, here, let's give him a car and stop hoarding parts. Yeah. It's turned around. I mean, it's not like Yuki's unhappy. He's just had a lot of bad luck too. So is what it is. But you got to, like you said, you got to tip your cap to Red Bull just for what they've done, because you're going into the final race of the season and you've managed this impeccable comeback. And now you have a chance to walk away with the Drivers' Championship. Yeah. And you're pretty much secured P3 in the in the Constructors' Championship. Yeah. Because I think Mercedes all but has number two locked in. P4 is pretty much locked in. Ferrari can't finish any higher than P4. So it would take some craziness. It would take some craziness from Mercedes and them to lose a bunch of points for Red Bull to take second. So technically it's not impossible, but we're going into a night race with this Mercedes car, and we've seen what Kimi and George have been doing all season. Maybe not last weekend for George, but is what it is. So I don't even know. Everything just points to this weekend. Like, it's hard to really talk about anything else. But we have to.
Yeah, because we just talked about Yuki. I think that's where you're going.
Yeah, we'll have to mention Yuki has had an up and down season. He has. Yes, he struggled with the car, and then it comes to find out, okay, well, Christian Horner's hoarding parts just in case Max needs them. Is what it is. Mekki says, no, let's catch Yuki's car up. Yuki has gotten consistent upgrades and we've all been rooting for Yuki, but the performance just hasn't been there. No. I think it's safe to say that even with the team backing him and giving him more support, yes, he's had some better finishes, but overall, performance just hasn't been there. Yeah. You can still point towards the second car curse at Red Bull, but the team has done more to help him, and it's just not there. So unfortunately, after today's announcement, he loses his seat. He's still going to be with the team as a reserve and test driver. Luckily, he stays in the sport, gives him a chance to go into 2027 when we're expecting a huge driver shuffle. Gives him an opportunity to get a seat, even if it's with another team. Yeah. He moves as the reserve driver. Red Bull is promoting Isaac Hadjar from the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls to the Oracle Red Bulls racing team. Yep. So now in 2026, it will be Max and Isaac running for Red Bull. Liam Lawson stays at VCarb, and they are promoting Arvid Lindblad from F2 up to the second VCarb seat. Yeah. So a little bit of a shuffle. We pretty much expected this to happen. Yeah. I know we have mentioned Arvid before, and it was maybe he stays another year in F2. Is it too soon to bring him up to VCarb? VCarb is Red Bull's second team, essentially. They're going to be – they use it to help develop drivers even more. It's going to help get them where they want to be, essentially, in a driver development program. And since, there's nowhere to go from F2, especially if you win the championship, but to F1. They're not allowed to once you win the championship, you're not allowed to race in F2 anymore. So the F2 champion was just crowned last weekend, and he announced he's going to be in the McLaren development team. So he'll be
McLaren hell.
In McLaren hell, somewhere in the development system.
Could be also them getting ready for something in case something happens in about a year, especially with what's happened this year.
I think that's safe to say that
yeah,
if I'm Oscar, I'm leaving that team come 2020 at the end of 2026. But we'll see. Like I said, we're expecting a big driver shuffle. But with Red Bull announcing both their driver lineups, VCarb and Oracle Red Bull, the grid is set for 2026. We know who the drivers are going to be for every team. Yuki's still in the sport, so we still can see him around. We'll see him on the pit wall. It's going to be interesting. I mean, like I said, 2027, I feel like there's just going to be a shuffling of the cards with the drivers. You're probably looking at all the rumors of Charles leaving Ferrari. Yeah. What is Lewis going to do? What is Oscar going to do? Does Max decide to stay with Red Bull? Or does he stay in the sport at all? Yeah. You know, that year, I think that year's going to be set. But for now, the 2026 grid is set after today. And, it's just...
I think a little subplot, too, is that obviously Yuki's a Honda driver. He's Honda back, so everybody else just assumes he'll possibly get a run at the Aston Martin seat whenever it opens up next year, if it does, with Lance Stroll. But for me, I think another thing people forget is that the whole reason everything's in question for next year is kind of because of the people who represent Yuki and Honda. Yeah. So next year, it's kind of like not been mentioned enough, since Red Bull's going to be making their own engines for the first time next year. I mean, that was literally because Honda said we're going to be leaving the sport for the 8th time. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they were like, actually,
we'll stick around.
We'll stick around, and we're going to go to Aston Martin. Yeah. So I can see why Red Bull would have a little bit of hard feelings, because next year it's such in doubt, because we've got to build our own engine. We have Ford coming on to help us out, but they're not really going to be doing a whole bunch but putting their sticker on it. It's going to be mostly Red Bull. So
just slap that sticker on.
Yeah, I think it would be good for Yuki to take a seat back. I mean, obviously we saw with Bottas this year and Perez. It didn't hurt them to have a year off. If you have the skill, people will look out for it. And honestly, first year of a regulations, it gives Yuki a chance to look at the grid, see what teams he wants to.
As a test driver too, he's going to be in that simulator a lot. He's going to put in a lot of sim hours where he's going to be able to learn about the car and kind of develop himself as a driver. And let's be honest, a change of pace isn't necessarily a bad thing. We've seen Alex do it. We've seen Carlos do it. We've seen who else?
Hulk's done it. Yeah, I mean, Ocon's done it recently. It's been a lot of drivers that have been moving around recently.
I mean, you look at like the Red Bull like development. I mean, especially the most notable are like Carlos and Alex. Like they leave to other teams and they flourish. Yep. Yuki has been in the Red Bull development program for a very long time now. I mean, you think about how many years he was with VCarb before he finally got promoted this year. Yeah.
And honestly, it's not anybody at Red Bull. I mean, everybody deserved that seat who got promoted. Like obviously, Arvid deserved the seat, and same thing with Hadjar. But the thing that frustrates me, especially as an Alpine fan, Alpine is going to be, it's like a record somehow, but you have 3 drivers in one season. Only one driver scored all your points. You have 2 drivers that have scored 0 points this year.
Why not look elsewhere?
Yeah, Yuki scored 33 points even while having a horrible season in its own going against his own merit. But compared to past Yuki seasons, he's having a down year. It's the only part that frustrates me as an Alpine fan, especially because there are other drivers. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about Lance. It's always been said. Enough has always been said about Lance, where we know what's going on there.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's just frustrating to see. But like you said, it's gonna be a good thing for him. I think he'll come back stronger from it, and he gets to have a year being on F1 TV for all the time.
I think 100%. I expect Yuki in another team's driver's seat come 2027. So he takes the year off. He's still within the program. He's still able to develop himself. He's not completely out of the sport. Yeah, and you go from there. We mentioned Carlos, so I got to give a shout out to him. He did get his second podium in a Williams in Qatar. He didn't even think he would get any. He didn't think he would get one. He got 2. 2 podiums. I mean, he possibly could get another one going into Qatar. Yeah. Going into Abu Dhabi at this point, because who knows? Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Carlos on the podium again. Yeah. But
it was crazy because, was it a piece of his wing fell off, or was it like just something?
He had something. There was something in, I think, within the suspension. Yeah. Something malfunctioned on those last 10 laps.
Dude, you could hear the panic in his voice. He's like, oh shit, something fell off.
He managed to hold on to it though. He managed to keep Kimi back. Yeah. He managed to keep Lando back. Yeah. He kept the pace. even through those tight corners where he was struggling.
He literally sounded like Toto in Abu Dhabi. No, Mikey, no, my catch on right.
Yeah, it was. I thought he was done for when the radio came on and he was panicking that bad. I for sure thought he was cooked. I was like, no, there goes the podium.
Yeah.
I was like, at least Kimi get on the podium and keep Lando back.
Yeah.
But no, he managed to do it. He managed to pull it off. So shout out to him. Shout out to me because my Williams' back agenda is complete. They secured P5 in the Constructors' Championship. When they from dead last year to P5 this year, you can't ask for better results.
No.
They're right behind yes, Ferrari outscored them, but who cares? They're right behind the top 3 teams, top 4 teams. You can't ask for a better results from Alex, James, Carlos, that whole Williams team. The complete turnaround that they've done, and we've talked about it a lot. I've been able to wear my Williams hat. I've been able to just say it time and time again. Williams is back, and they proved me right. I'm happy. They're happy. I can't wait to see what they do in 2026.
Yeah. Because
Alex has struggled the second half, but he held it down with that team for many years, and he held it down the first half of the season. When Carlos was struggling to adjust and learn the car and everything else, Alex held it down and was securing points for the team. And then the swap happened finally. Carlos got his wheels up underneath them.
Yeah.
And not to say like Alex has been performing terribly. He's just run into some bad luck, and he's been right there, either right on the points edge or right outside the points. So he's right there in the midfield. So shout out to him. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to James Vowles and that whole Williams team. I have to give them some love because they're my second favorite team. They're my second favorite. They're probably like my favorite 1-2 driver lineup. I mean, no, probably my second because I love Yuki, but performance-wise, as a 1-2, I think the only team that's performing better than them is like McLaren and Mercedes. Yeah. As a whole team, you know what I mean?
I mean that's the reason why, like a better term, that's why James Vowles traps Carlos in a hotel room that one time. It's like, hey, I know what we need.
That's true.
And low-key, honestly, I know everybody's been focused on the championship, but probably if Max wasn't doing what he was doing, probably one of the bigger comebacks on the grid to try to catch up to Albon, because he has a chance to pass him up this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, I think Carlos was in like 17 or 15 points, and Albon had 60-something points.
Yeah.
And he's been able to make the gap up in the second half. And I mean, like you said, that's the reason you have Alex there to be the steady driver when you needed him to be. And then when Carlos finally got his feet underneath of him, I mean, you see what he's doing now. He's just running away with it. I mean, this is the best season they've had since Bottas was with the team at one point. So it was Felipe Massa and Bottas there. So I mean, it's been a while since Williams has been this good.
A long time ago. I mean, like I said, it's nothing but great things to say about Williams this year.
Yeah.
Next thing I want to talk about is Kimi Antonelli. We've seen Red Bull's statement. We've seen the FIA statement. We've seen Mercedes' statement. Kimi Antonelli made a driving mistake. He was pushing the car. He was trying to not only catch up to Carlos to get a podium, but also keep Lando and the McLaren behind him. He was eyes on the podium. I'm driving my own race. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
Drivers make mistakes especially on a track like Qatar. At the end of the race, it was 2 laps to go. Made a mistake, went a little wide. Lando passes him. So now Lando goes from being only 10 points ahead to being 12 points ahead. It was a 2-point swing. 2 points does not make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things when you look at how much Max has come back and what all he needs to. Yeah, maybe Max can win and Lando can still finish on the podium and he wins the championship. But regardless, he made a mistake. It happens. He's still a rookie and he's fighting for podiums on the regular. We'll start with I guess we can start with GP's statement. When it first happened, GP said it looks like Kimi just let him through. You go back, you look at the replay. Okay, cool. In the heat of the moment, GP and Max are talking. He says, "That's weird. It looks like he just let him through. We don't know what happened there."
Yeah.
So instantly, everybody's like, "Why would he let him?" Everybody's looking like, "What the hell happened?" It's easy to go back, or anybody in the sport, any fan can go back, watch the replay. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
But then you have Helmut Marko after the race, doing his interviews. I think he was doing a interview with Sky Germany.
Yeah.
And he says, undoubtedly, Kimi did that on purpose. I said it earlier this season. I don't know why we keep putting a microphone in front of Helmut Marko's face. He is focused on driver development. He has no reason to be in front of a microphone. Stop putting this old senile bastard in front of a camera and in front of a microphone. Nobody cares what he has to say unless he's talking about unless he's talking about drivers that are going to get promoted and announcing freaking driver lineups. I don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't care. Yeah. I don't want to see it because there's always some dumb shit that comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And so now he doubles down. You got certain parts of an F1 fan base that just lack the
knowledge
and wherewithal to actually go look at what actually happened. They take his word. Kimi gets all kinds of online hate. He was getting hateful messages, death threats. He had to turn his profile on social media, turn his picture to complete black to hopefully deter everybody from trying to find him and send hateful messages. Like, it's just uncalled for. And Helmut Marko did not help it in any fact. And yes, he came out afterwards and said, I looked at the replay. I made a mistake. Zach Brown kind of did the same thing. I will say, as a devil's advocate, Zach Brown did the same thing to Hülkenberg earlier this year. And it wasn't that blown out of perspective. I think maybe he was quicker to come back and say, okay, I made a mistake. I looked at the replay than Helmut Marko was. And it took all this extra shit for Helmut to come out and do it, and Red Bull had to release a statement. It was just dumb. It was uncalled for. It has no business being what it turned into. And if people messaging Kimi, just stop watching the sport because it's just dumb. Like, what are we doing? 2 points isn't, in the grand scheme of things, 2 points isn't going to make or break Max's season.
No.
And if it does, well, then so fucking be it. Max has even said, if I lose, I lose. It is what it is. We've done great things to close out the season. And if I win, cool. 5 is better than 4. I think people were like, the extra crazy side of, I mean, every fan base has it. Lando fans, Lewis fans.
Especially Lewis and Lando fans.
Max has that fan base, that side of a fan base too. They all have it. The big drivers have a huge fan base, and there's a chunk of that fan base that is just fucking nuts.
The ugly side of each driver's fan base is like ugly.
Yeah.
Very.
And
yeah.
So you got that side of Max's.
Mean Girls ugly, bro.
Yeah, like that.
You got that side of Max's fan base who are just attacking Kimi Antonelli online, and it's like, do you even watch the sport? Like, are you even paying attention? Or are you just in it to, oh, I think the driver's cute, or oh my god, I think, this is so cool, fast cars. Like, bro, like, pay attention to what, like, at least show some kind of interest in what you're talking about.
It's just,
you just sound dumb.
Ridiculous. And I think another part that didn't help was obviously earlier in the season, Austria, when Kimi made a rookie mistake and hit Max, took him out, and now he does this, and immediately Helmut Marko doesn't help, and immediately the fans are like, yeah, he did it on purpose. And it's just, no, watch the onboard, watch the footage, and you will clearly see he didn't do it on purpose.
Nope.
He's fighting for a podium. He's fighting to keep a fast-ass McLaren from catching him. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel, like we said, you can understand why they're doing it, but the part that kind of didn't make any sense to me is Max has repeatedly been saying all these weeks, like you said, Junior, if I lose, I lose, but I'm going to try to go at this. I was a little disappointed in GP, but something weird's been going on with GP the past few weeks. He's been trying to antagonize Max in the car for the past couple weeks, which I
don't think it's that he's antagonizing Max. I think GP is playing the mind games.
Yeah, I use that word better. Yeah,
I think it's more that he's playing the mind games, and it's towards it's more towards McLaren.
Yeah,
and even with that mistake, I think GP was trying to take more of a shot at McLaren than anything. And in the heat of the moment, I mean, nobody is more delusional as a Max fan than probably like GP and Hannah and the rest of the Red Bull team. They fully believe Max can win this championship.
Yeah.
And I mean, rightfully so. I mean, it's Max Verstappen. But GP has been a little more like, I would say like maybe like snarky on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
And I appreciate it to a point because he is playing the mind games with McLaren, and McLaren is crumbling under the pressure. I mean, it's obvious. So why not? You know what I mean? Every sport has a mind game to it. That's probably why Max says half the shit he says in the press conferences. But it did push certain fans to go, oh, well, then Kimi did that on purpose.
And I think it's the fact that it happened, and it's the timing. I mean, I saw some people trying to blame the Sky broadcast for the way they. I mean, it happened.
Even Crofty and Brundo were like, what just happened there? Like they were a little confused at first, and then you look at the replay. I mean, all it takes is a few seconds to watch either Kimi's on board or the Sky replay, and it was obvious he just went a little wide. Like, he just made a little mistake.
And I'll give GP credit. I mean, obviously, everybody saw the footage of him talking to Toto after the race. And I'll give him credit for that because that's something Helmut didn't do. I do wish before Helmut would talk, he would watch things more. Obviously,
I wish Helmut would just stop talking in general.
That would be the better option. I just think for Kimi, I mean, obviously, we all feel terrible for what he had to go in, and like that whole ordeal he had to deal with this weekend. And there's no way you can say with like you said, if you just watch the race, you can see he didn't let him by. Why would Kimi give up points to him? I mean, we've literally been having a talk the past couple weeks about Fernando wants to help Max. George said, I'm willing to help Lando. Like, we have all these drivers saying they're willing to help each other. Kimi's never been one of those drivers that said anything. He's just been out there trying to go race because it's his rookie year. I just feel bad for him overall. And like you said, Helmut's not had a bad, well, I was going to say a bad couple years, but Helmut's had a bad like decade pretty much this one so far.
Yeah, it's just uncalled for.
Yeah.
So this Sunday is the final race. This coming weekend, we go into the final round, Abu Dhabi, round 24. 16 points separate the top three. Do we want to give our predictions for the podium as we have
last ones of the year?
The last ones of the year, the last driver of the day. Ivan scored a point on driver of the day.
Got my
So now we're all tied for two. It could come down to the wire.
Hey, I think since it's down to the wire, we should we'll do our predictions of the podiums. If we get the podium, like if say one of us says Max wins, if Max wins, that should be a point.
Okay.
If somebody says Lando gets second and they get second, that's a point.
A point for every podium correctly.
Yep. Yeah.
Plus driver of the day.
We'll do it.
Fuck it. Let's
we need to settle this.
We're gonna have to switch this up next year because obviously driver of the day ain't working.
No.
There's too much of a popularity vote.
I'm just glad I made the comeback to get back in the race.
There you go.
I've been pulling out a Max performance.
All right. Exactly. So I guess we'll get into the predictions for Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
The final race, final round, championship. That championship comes down to this. Mark, who do you have on the podium?
It's tough. Winning Abu Dhabi, the race, I have Max Verstappen.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I'm afraid I got some bad news. I think Lando's going to come in second and ultimately win the championship. Third place, I think it clearly could be anybody, especially Mercedes. So I'll go with George Russell. Driver of the day, I think since it's a popularity contest, if Lando does win the championship, becomes a second, I think it'll go to Lando. Unless like Pierre Gasly and an Alpine gets third, then he maybe gets it.
Anything is possible.
But yeah, I have Max winning, Lando second, winning the Drivers' Championship, and then George in third.
Okay. Ivan.
I'll have Oscar winning. I think he makes up for last week. I'll have second place. You know what? I'll try to. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do second place is Kimi. I think Kimi's going to, especially after this week with all the stuff that's happened, I think he'll get extra motivation. And I think Max finishes P3. I think Lando's going to finish P4, but because of where Max finishes, I think that would win still Lando the championship at that point, right?
So P3 is 12 points. No, it's 15 points.
Yeah. So,
12 points. So it'd be a 3-point swing.
Okay. So Lando would still win it. Yeah. I just think one of the Mercedes boys is going to do good, especially with Kimi having the week he's had. I think he'll do it. And then my driver of the day, like Mark said, it's going to be whoever wins the championship. So I'm going to go, you know what? No, I won't go with Lando. I'll go with Kimi. I think they're going to try to make it up for him. Maybe the fans will be like, you deserve this. So I'll go Kimi as driver of the day.
I have ultimate chaos happening. I have George winning the race, Kimi coming in P2, and Oscar coming in P3.
Ooh.
No.
I don't have Max or Lando on the podium because I think there's going to be a little bit of a tussle.
Hey, last year, turn 1.
There's going to be a little bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
Real drive of a champion happened last year.
Yep. I see something terrible happening in turn 1, and it might end up costing Max the championship if one of them doesn't DNF.
Yeah.
If Lando don't end up DNFing.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a tussle. I think Mercedes is just too good on these last few tracks. They've proved it. They've been within podium reach, if not on the podium, these last few rounds. Why not have them cause just chaos and throw all kinds of wrenches?
That would be, that would be peak.
George win, Kimi P2, Oscar P3 to try to make up the gap, and then Kimi takes driver of the day. It's going to come down to what happens in turn 1 that costs them both the podium on if Lando wins the championship or not. Because if you think about it, if Oscar takes P3, he's still outside the championship. If Max finishes P4 and Lando don't finish the race, that's a tie.
Shit.
Ultimate chaos.
Which I think at that point Max would have it because the second place finishes. I think he has more than Oscar does right now. So it would literally be second place finishes would get Max the championship.
That would absolutely be insane.
I think it's just going to come down to crazy math. Nobody's going to be holding back. If the papaya rules if the papaya boys, if Oscar just doesn't go full Leroy Jenkins and takes out Lando.
He absolutely needs to. Flat out.
Just flat out takes out his teammate and says, if I can't win it, nobody can. Neither of us can. I think it would be ultimate chaos. So that's my podium. Sunday, boys. We're going to be right here. Bright and early. The race starts at 7 a.m. Houston time. So if you are in Houston, that's what time we will be going live. We'll be live streaming the race here from the studio. So join us. Make sure you subscribe to Apollo HOU so you get that notification first thing in the morning. We're going to be hanging out, watching the race together, and see who wins the World's Drivers' Championship for the 2025 F1 season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an early morning, so we'll have a little breakfast. We'll have a little coffee.
Yep.
And we'll celebrate or
be sad.
Crash out and be sad together. I don't know. It depends on who you're a fan of. So come hang out with us. Said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials. We'll be pushing out the information today for that. And yeah, the link tree will be in the description of this video. So make sure you follow us on everything. Follow us personally on X. At Maruchan Warrior.
PCH now.
IL White 1.
And join us Sunday. And we'll be back next week for our final recap episode of the season. We'll be doing some more content postseason, but that's to come. So join us Sunday, join us next week, and we'll see y'all then. We're out.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
See y'all Sunday.
Championship.